Thank you, Chairman, for holding today's hearing, and I want to thank you, Ambassador, for making yourself available and coming before our committee today. Since the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan under Biden administration, all heartfelt progress on basic freedoms and rights for Afghan women have vanished. Women made incredible gains in the classroom, played an active role in the Afghan government and free press, and participated in the workforce side by side with their male co-workers. When the Taliban seized power, one of their first actions was to ban girls from attending secondary school. They eliminated the Afghan Commission to eliminate violence against women, banned women from working at NGOs, and started restricting women's access to public areas. Decades of work on women and girls went down the drain in a matter of weeks. As a woman, this is deeply personal to me. It has been raised several times today that you presented the administration with several power-sharing proposals that would give the Taliban partial or majority control of the Afghan government. So what did these peace plans say about women's rights and participation in the Afghan government?
We did give one plan to accelerate the negotiations, since we wanted to see the optimal outcome, or the better option would have been an agreement before withdrawal was completed. And in those draft proposals, Afghanistan's adherence to international standards on human rights, respect for the rights of all Afghan citizens, men, women, minorities, children, were all specified. But in the draft that we shared with them to assist with accelerating the negotiations.
Ambassador, yes. Did you think that the Taliban would be willing to share power of the Afghan government with women?
Well, we had them say to us, and they say that publicly and on videos, that women could be ministers, women could be active in all parts of life. What has happened since has been a violation of those statements that are on the record, not to me alone, but to the whole world, that they said that. So
their words and actions didn't match.
Right.
You know, the Taliban was often cited as stating to the United States, you might have the watches, but we have the time.
Right.
Was the Taliban waiting the United States government out so it could overthrow the Afghan government after our departure?
Well, I'd be speculating, but certainly they waited us out in the sense that based on what happened, based on changes in the world, based on successes that we had on counterterrorism, as I've described, we decided that it's time to come home. And there are things we could have done differently in retrospect. Those studies will be done that would have perhaps had a different outcome in terms of the Taliban. One issue as ambassador.
Ambassador, did you consider that as a possibility if power sharing agreement was implemented?
I did certainly consider it as a possibility, because both sides were saying they want that. And the question was the terms. The president of Afghanistan, President Ghani, did not want to leave office. He wanted the Talibs to join them. They said no, they won't join. There has to be a new government that be formed with a head that's acceptable to both sides. So the negotiations were difficult. We knew it was going to take time. You know, the war had been going on there for 40 years.
The President Biden's unconditional withdrawal legitimized the Taliban's plan of action?
Our withdrawal, of course, changed the balance in favor of the Taliban. But I believe that the bigger mistake or the bigger factor that shaped the outcome was the poor performance of the government, of the Afghan government. running away while saying that they will never do that, the disintegration of the armed forces, those were the bigger factors, in my judgment, in terms of what ultimately happened.
Well, there is no doubt we saw.
Chair yields. Chair recognizes Ms. Mann.